I think we are streaming on. Yes, we are streaming now. It says excellent connection.
Let me hear if this thing works.
Streaming now. Okay, we started like a few seconds ago. Come on, let's already get this started. And we
Alright,
did.
let's
Oh wait,
begin.
who's starting? Jeez, we totally did you start that.
Okay, it seems it's working.
Alright.
Alright.
Well, actually, Lion, I think because it's your guest. Sorry about that. I think you should introduce him. Introduce him.
Let me just quickly share the stream.
Oh yeah, man, we were not prepared at all.
I mean, we are prepared. I mean, at least, last time we.
The only thing that we improved is that we now know how to start a stream. That's the only thing that's changed.
I mean, last time we were streaming for 10 minutes and it was on private.
Yeah,
So-
that's what I was gonna say. It was private.
That is fun. You guys
okay,
are sharing it like on Twitter, yeah. Like,
Yes.
And then Tenza
Also
retweet
share
that
it.
because you have like 1,000. That's your main role in this.
Yeah, that's the biggest role.
That's the big role.
There you go.
All right, we done now. We ready to officially start this?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All
Am
right.
I doing the intro for this?
Yes.
Oh god, okay.
You guys want me to do the intro?
Yeah, we can do that. Let's try something.
Try some notes. Try some notes.
Yeah. So wait. So it's basically what's the intro again?
Okay. You know what? I'll do it because, jeez Louise. Hello everybody. We are 2 minutes in this thing, and here's the intro. Finally, I am the Anime Bro, and I am with 20 Odd Lion, Tenza Shinra, our guest, and this is the Radio Trigger podcast. We have our first live stream guest, Manga Crash. I guess
Thank
just
you for having me.
yeah.
It was fun to see the chaos of this intro.
Yeah. And if hopefully, if you're still here, well, congratulations, you survived this chaos, and it will probably get worse from here. So, I guess that's it. All right, I guess let's just start talking.
Yeah, we should.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Manga Crash is a YouTuber who mostly does manga. Does it vary? Is it like a specific? I haven't watched all your videos, so is it like is it like Shonen Jump, or is it just like a whole bunch of other like companies and stuff?
I do a bunch of stuff. I'd say I did the math, and 40% of my videos are about Shonen Jump or one of Shonen Jump's series. So I mostly talk about that, but occasionally I might, talk about shoujo or, seinen manga or other shonen manga, or just the history of stuff and things like that. Just whatever I'm feeling like talking about, I will talk about.
Yeah. So, what would you say is like your favorite company then? Just to ask, is it Shonen or Jump, or is it like another one, or just curious?
I would say, my favorite magazine or publisher, I guess I would say like Shonen Jump in general. I just really like Shonen Jump, but I also actually really like one that is also not super well known, sadly, which is Big Comics or Big Comic Spirits. They may not be well known, but the things that they publish are. They publish things like Naoki Urasawa's manga. I don't think Monster. I think Monster was published there, for example.
Yeah.
Goodnight Punpun was published there, so they do a lot of really good stuff. More like seinen stuff, but they are really good.
Okay. I'm not the only host here, you guys. You guys can ask questions too. Like
Yeah.
Yeah. I just didn't know if you were finished.
Yeah.
What would you say you like like making content on like more? Would you say like more shonen or more seinen, or is there like a specific type that you like making more content on?
Uh, I don't know, man. I really like doing these three videos, which are not necessarily about anything in particular.
Mm,
Just because I get to learn a lot of stuff like research and find stuff that I didn't knew about.
Hmm.
And slowly
okay.
getting to know like lesser known manga because of it that may be important. Um, but those are really hard to do.
Yeah.
Generally, when I start like doing a video of those, I lose like a month just on research.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I also like talking about like the Shonen Jump stuff,
Hmm.
and those tend to be more simple, tend to get more views as well,
Yeah.
like more interactions. So it's just fun.
Yeah.
I also like recording
Yeah.
podcasts. I just like talking with people, which I normally don't on my channel.
Yeah.
I don't get to do that. So yeah, I'm happy to be here.
Yeah.
What are you currently reading then?
What am what am I reading?
Yeah, what
Yeah.
you're currently reading, or
Yeah,
like the latest one you've read.
the
Sorry about
latest.
that.
I'm like currently reading all of the ongoings of Jump, and that's been taking my week recently. I
Hmm.
barely have time to read anything else. I am slowly reading a manga called something Tenchi Nan Tenchi Nanka Janai.
No.
Oh wow.
Which is someone recommended me this to me, which is a shoujo, and I want to get more into shoujos, which is why
Hmm.
I check it out. This is from the same mangaka who does Nana, which I think is pretty well known.
Oh,
Nana,
the fashion one.
Yeah.
The fashion one.
yeah, yeah,
Okay. Yeah.
it's by the same mangaka. But apparently this one is like the least well known, which is I
Yeah.
guess why they recommended it for me to read it.
Yeah.
It's pretty fun. It's a romance where the main couple get together after like the first volume, which
Hmm.
normally we don't really get that much on most manga and anime I tend to
Yeah.
watch. Yeah, that's fun.
Yeah. Yeah.
I actually heard about Nana, but I kind of strayed away from reading it because I heard that it wasn't finished and I didn't want
Yeah,
to get into it.
yeah, it is not. I've only like watched it a little bit
Yeah.
when I was a teen on television.
Hmm.
So I don't know. It looked fun, but I haven't really properly read it. But yeah, mostly because of that, because it is not completed. I think the last chapter came out in like 2010 or something like that. So
Is the mangaka
yeah,
not to be like don't want to be kind of rude. Are they alive or
yeah.
uh,
I'm pretty sure she is alive. She is still alive.
is she
I
work
don't know if
is
she
she
has like
working on
health
other
problems or
stuff?
anything.
Is she working on
I
other
don't
stuff
think.
Uh,
I don't
or
think she is. I actually
hmm,
don't think she is. Let me check her page on Anilus just real quick. But I am pretty sure not. Just no.
hmm.
Her last manga, yeah, it was Nana, and then she did like some stuff, but before Nana went on hiatus, as far
hmm.
as I can tell. I know it has like an Adidas manga in here from 2002. But yeah, apparently she's been inactive for a while. I don't know. I haven't looked into it to know what happened,
Yeah.
but I'm pretty sure she's still alive.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
Hope
That's
so,
good.
Yeah.
Because I know, like, especially like I guess recent, with Mira and his
Yeah.
passing, Berserk now can never be finished. Well, technically speaking, probably won't be finished in the way he wanted it, but he did have like some sort of ending, which was which is good, but it's kind of sad. But also,
Yeah.
you got also stuff like Hunter x Hunter, which that had been on hiatus for a while, and
It was
And it's
what,
coming back.
4 years?
yeah,
Yeah, I'm pretty sure was around that. Because when I started like since I started reading Jump weekly, I haven't had a single Hunter x Hunter chapter. And
mm,
that's been like since early 2019. So
yeah,
at least since
Hmm.
then, there hasn't been a chapter.
Yeah, and I was told like the latest chapter wasn't even like a manga. It was like a book. Like there was so much text on on like one page to the point where it's like, dude, just write a book. Write a book.
Yeah, I've seen that page. I haven't read Hunter x Hunter though, which is gonna piss some people off, I guess. But
I haven't
I
also.
don't plan to.
Yeah, it's honestly like a passable series. I'd say it's good. I don't wanna I don't wanna make anybody angry either, but I just feel like it's good, but at the end of the day it's still a shonen. They
Yeah.
do break some tropes here and there, but it's still like at base just, typical shonen stuff. I do like the fact that they break tropes every now and then, and it's how it's unique, but yeah, it's Hunter x Hunter as a series. I think it's good, but it's still really good. I don't want to offend anybody. Just want to be clear.
Yeah, it's anime or manga. It's not like you're gonna be.
No.
It's not like
Yeah.
it's gonna ruin your career. Just go to a different
Uh,
thing and talk crap about it.
Well, I was like 20 episodes and I dropped it because I didn't like it.
Look, the Hunter x Hunter guys are really like hyped for Hunter x Hunter right now, so
Yeah,
we need to be careful. But you
Yeah.
did like the last video you guys did was on Hunter x Hunter, right?
it was technically, but then we just got off
We just
topic.
drove off.
Yeah, we just went off topic. We were like, first 30 minutes, let's talk about Hunter x Hunter, and then after that, let's just talk about whatever. We already kind of.
Once again, we top or Hima, yeah.
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 Pictures over here.
Jeez, yeah.
I was gonna ask about the reception on that because I did a video on Hunter x Hunter on why I'm not reading Hunter x Hunter recently, actually.
Yeah.
It's been mostly like positive in terms of comments, but I've gotten a good amount of dislikes that normally I don't. Which one could say, oh, it's just because the video is worse than usual. Could be, but I don't know. I don't feel like that's the case. I feel like just someone's kind of mad.
Yeah, definitely. Someone probably just has like multiple accounts for anybody that makes
Yeah.
bad videos on Hunter x Hunter. But yeah, honestly, I feel like it's just a shonen thing in general. It's like people are so hard to defend their series. They don't really
Well,
like.
that's just
like,
the series in general. Like, there's like,
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like with more obscure anime and manga, you don't have that as much like just lesser known ones, because I
Yeah.
know a lot of fan bases and just anime that are small, not well known, that don't really have those kind of problems. Like it's just a community coming together to appreciate it as a whole, and like people can recognize its flaws and whatnot. But I feel like for most of the time when you have like a big manga or anime that's like Hunter x Hunter, like we're talking about, like
yeah.
a lot of people are gonna get toxic and get mad about it, like they did when the news came out that he came back and everything.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez.
Wasn't the same with when Bleach got announced that it's coming back this year, or was it the same?
That was like last
Yeah.
year, and I don't know.
Well, I
Like,
mean, like, the
everyone
trailer
was like
this
so
year.
excited, and then
Yeah.
it was
I
like,
feel like it was
oh.
different. I feel like the reason is because Bleach has been the the black sheep of the big tree.
Yeah, big
Should
three.
I say this? And just the fact that he's getting like recognition and everything's getting an anime just got everyone excited, and a bunch of people who had never checked out Bleach to
Yeah.
check it out for the first time. So I think it was mostly way more positive than Hunter x Hunter in that regard. But I just feel like Hunter x Hunter's the praise that it gets is way bigger than Bleach's.
Mm.
So people are just like more more cocky about it, I guess.
Yeah, definitely. It's like
Well, how is the
minute
Bleach
that,
fandom, Tenza? I see you like
Wait, what
repo. What's the Bleach fandom like? We don't know.
oh my gosh, yeah, the big yeah, well, um, the the Bleach fandom, it's well, I wouldn't consider myself like a big, like really into the fandom. I will say like like for any big series, obviously Bleach is a pretty big series. It's more so like how do I say it? It's like when any fandom or any series gets big news, I feel like toxicity is a given and that it just comes whenever that happens. But with Bleach, I will say that there was a little kind of,
Hmm.
but not not like Crash said, it's not too much, and it was more so just in like a result of like he said being like the butt of the big three and just not really having that much attention for a span of like over 10 years. So it's very easy to, you know, get overexcited and, kind
Yeah.
of say a bunch of things you don't mean. But I definitely feel like the Bleach fandom is the most chill out of the big three. Um, but yeah, I do agree that sometimes they can get a little extra, but definitely not as much as Hunter x Hunter because it's like the minute it came out, and I even made a tweet about it. The minute that it got announced, instantly like people started comparing it to Bleach, and I was just like, wow, hasn't even been a day. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's it's okay. The fandom's okay,
Hmm.
much.
Mhm.
Well, I could see
Oh,
why they would compare it because even though Bleach ended, because the difference is the manga ended for Bleach. The only thing that didn't end was the anime, and I think for a while people were hoping that someday the anime will get finished because it was like one more arc, and like honestly, it kind of would suck because it's like I got into Bleach through the anime, and at the very end where it just showed like Ichigo and he got his powers back, and then that was it. Like wasn't really a satisfying way to end off a series like Bleach. And then learned that the manga had one more arc, which like Bleach is good. Sorry, Denza,
Uh,
but
Oh my gosh.
well,
Yeah.
I'll say this: like in terms of like quality, Bleach I think would is a bit better. Well, I like the main character
in
more
what?
than Gon. I like Ichigo better than Gon,
Oh,
Yeah.
so I can say that.
Nice. Yeah. I feel like a lot of people like a lot of MCs more than more than Gone, but that's just me.
I don't know. I feel like Ichigo is kind of underrated. Um, Especially, I always say like, even though Bleach is not my favorite of the big three,
Mm,
especially compared to like One Piece, um,
yeah,
I really like Ichigo. I think he might be my favorite protagonist of the big three.
yeah.
But he also
Yeah.
feels like the embodiment of cool of the 2000s. He's like the kind of guy I'd want to be as a teen.
yeah.
That might be why.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's like just overall his vibe and his atmosphere. I really like him as a character, but on top of that, I feel like he's really different. And I said this in my anime talk with Anime Bro. Um, I like how he's not so much similar to other MCs, and specifically the big three, with
Mhm.
how he has like more of a big goal, like oh I want to be the Hokage, or I want to be the pirate king or whatever.
Hmm,
It's more so just I want to protect my friends. It's a very simple goal
yeah.
and nothing too crazy. And I will say that I'm actually making a Bleach video. I was gonna say this, make this point in my Bleach video, but um like they do have deeper meaning to their goals, Naruto and Luffy, but the thing about them is that they kind of mask it with the fact that they want to be in this big position, whereas Ichigo doesn't. Like for example, Luffy, he wants to be like the freest man in the world, and that's to do that he basically has to become the king of the pirates.
Yeah.
But he basically uses just the goal, the saying that he wants to be the king of the pirates. He doesn't always say that he wants to be the freest man. For Naruto, he wants it for acknowledgement, and he doesn't always say that. He just says he wants to be the Hokage. But for Ichigo, it's just he wants to protect his friends, and he doesn't really use anything as like a cover for that, so to say. But,
Yeah. But I feel
Yeah.
like with Naruto, there's a lot of. It makes sense that he wants to cover that with "I want to be Okage," instead of just downright admit that he wants like recognition.
yeah,
It
definitely.
made works that it is understood on a subtext level. Um, with Luffy, I don't know. It's a little bit different. Because it could just say like, "I want to be the freest man alive." I just
Yeah.
feel like for him, the words are the same, and Pirate King just sounds cooler.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's true. That's true. Yeah, definitely, I agree. But yeah, I'm a big Bleach fan. You guys know it's my
Yeah.
favorite anime, so I'm always just gonna be the one to, you know, praise it or whatever. But it has some flaws. I'll say that. I'll always be the one to,
You
you
got
know,
pretty
say that.
defensive when I bashed on it.
I mean, when you bashed on it, you said that um I don't want to move the subject again, but you said that you said that Orihime was worse than Usopp, so I had
Hey,
to, you know.
bro, Usopp is the best character though. Like, I'm not even joking.
There we go. Look at that. Look, I
Nah,
got.
2-on-2.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
It's
I got
on
a guy
too.
on my side. Best guess so far, right here. Actually, no, best guess ever. You're up there. People got a high
Yeah,
bar to pass now.
Yeah.
Nah,
I mean,
I'm on Team Society 100%.
yeah.
just like Usopp, I really like his character arcs. I would say the problem ish with him is that he kind of has the same character arc in each and every arc, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But just on things get amped a little bit with each passing by. But I really love his character arc. And really love when he gets completely beaten down, especially like in Alabasta, for example,
Yeah.
where he even breaks his nose and everything is bleeding, and then still fights for his friends, even though normally he's cowardly. It's such a simple story, but I love it every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I love Usopp's story. I like how he's basically he's this normal person trying to, be on this team of like monsters and stuff that all have different skills. Um but like it's the one thing that really just bothers me. It's like you said, the fact that in from arc to arc, it's kind of he has the same sort of things that he has to go through, because if you watch One Piece, obviously you know that he wants to be like the most brave, one of the most brave warriors of the sea or whatever. And it kind of sucks to me when, I see him finally have some development in one arc, and then, he just goes back to, you know, being scared and stuff. But I still do like him. I just think that Orihime,
He's better
I'll
character.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah, I just like Orihime's character.
I guess.
I just don't remember
Um,
Orihime though. It's just that's my thing. Like even though One Piece is long, I know a lot of Usopp moments. And and he's not really my favorite character. I have like he's like one of he's a good character, and I remember a lot more moments than Orihime, and that's not just because One Piece has been going on since literally the 90s. It's just I don't remember much of Orihime. Like I always remember her being there. I just don't remember her doing
Yeah,
much.
I think the problem is that like they're kind of since the stories are so different, it's like um Bleach is more of like grounded in modern reality, and One Piece is an adventure manga. So it's like you'll always remember Usopp's moments more because, it's an adventure manga. There's like big things happening all the time, and he's gonna face big opponents. But I feel like more on like just the character side, and I think this is why Lion likes it, because he likes slice of life. But like just more on the just more on like the character side and everything. She has like a lot of development, and even on the action side. But the thing with the action is that it doesn't happen as often as One Piece, because like it's balancing this like modern just regular living and the supernatural, of course. But with Orihime, she has like a lot of development character wise in like both scenes of like fighting and action and like regular, and it's not just all action like Usopp normally. But and I see like Orihime, like she has development with Ichigo and different characters, the cast and whatever, and I just really like that. And even when she fights, there's usually development in it. There was even a development that she had when Ichigo was fighting against Grimmjow. And she basically didn't want him to fight for her anymore, and it's just like she has a lot of development throughout the series. I just really like her character.
Mhm. I'll say the problem with Orihime's action scenes, and honestly, pretty much every character that was introduced on the first arc, like Shad and the other guy, which the Quincy, which I don't remember his name, even though even yesterday I was talking about him. Uh,
Tenzo, what's his name?
Ishida.
Ishida, yeah. But like the problem is that like they were so cool in the first arc. They got like superpowers and everything like that. But by the moment we get into Soul Society, they're replaced basically by the captains in any action scene. Like the captains are now the action sidecast. And it's cool because I love the captains. I think everyone does. Like Kenpachi is my favorite character in Bleach. He's one of my favorite characters of all time in general. Just but you kind of just
I like
drop
Aizen.
on things like Shad, for example.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's like they take more of like a backseat role, but compared to like the stronger characters, I feel like it's I feel like that happens with every arc, with different how to say it, like basically main characters that come up in that arc. Like for example, you have like you said, the Soul Society, and they kind of took a backseat to like the captains and everything. And then you have the Arankar arc, and they took the backseat to Espada, and then of course the War arc, and they took the backseat to the Quincy and everything. But I feel like it's like those small moments. Like that's why I feel like it's more the small moments that count more than
Yeah,
anything, because it's like you said, mainly in the fights and like the big arcs and everything. It's like it's more so focused on like the newer characters that are introduced. But when it comes to like a slice of life, and even like a little before these like action parts, because usually they tend to want to support Ichigo and wherever he goes. They have development, like how they trained up to go save Orihime with Ichigo, and basically he learns to trust his friends a little more. I feel like just those subtle moments with them are really good. But yes, it's understandable if you see more interest in like the main characters of each arc introduced.
yeah.
Wow. Okay.
I'm
Honestly,
sorry, I
that
didn't.
that
You
went
have
that went a lot calmer than usual. So
Yeah.
it
that's
did,
good.
yeah.
I think it's because we have a
Oh,
guest here and we don't have we don't.
yeah. You're trying to behave around me.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
I like a
If
good
Cash
fight.
was
I'll just grab the popcorns and I'll watch.
yeah, if Cash wasn't here, I'd
Uh,
be choking anime, bro.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's cool. I feel like it's mainly just a catering of different audiences mainly, because
Yeah.
One Piece is more like this big adventure, and you know, like Bleach is a lot more like, well, not to say that One Piece can't be thematic, but it has like a lot of like moments where it's more calm, that you have to pay attention and stuff like that. But
Mhm.
I
yeah,
mean, One Piece
he
has
that
that too.
yeah, exactly. But I think another thing that we were arguing about, Usopp and Orihime, is just a fight in general between
oh
them,
yeah, yeah.
and that's where it got more
Yeah,
less
that's
entertaining.
actually where it got more because they did agree that in some way they kind of do like Usopp a little bit better, but in terms of fighting, I kind of put it in a way that Usopp has range and like he's able to do impressive things with just
With range.
yeah, range. If you have range, like that is like a key factor in I
Mm.
guess most wars now because it's like if you can launch a bomb from like 100 miles, you're more likely to win than a guy who has like a whole bunch of tanks because you got the
Yeah,
you got
No.
That
but
doesn't apply too much with One Piece because
I'm sorry, you're kind of breaking up on me. I don't know if.
My phone is
Oh shit.
Okay, so it's not just me.
Yeah.
No.
so,
Okay.
so sorry. Can you repeat that? You were
Yeah.
breaking up a bit.
Yeah. It's not like even if we talk of like if he's gonna like throw a bomb as like Blackbeard, it's not gonna work. So in One Piece, it doesn't always. I mean, it can the range can be an advantage for sure. It has been like for example Dressrosa,
Mm.
but depends on the opponent, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not gonna lie, I heard
Long range,
Blackbeard,
Usopp will win.
and then that's when it started going clear. I heard
Yeah.
Blackbeard, and then that's when everything became clear.
Yeah, it came clear for me a while before.
I mean, it depends. Usopp will win long range,
Mhm.
but if it's like close range, I don't think Usopp will win.
Yeah. If it's like against Orihime, even Lion would agree with me. It's just her defense is too broken. It's like she was able to like deflect like what was his name, Yuha, like his like attacks from him, and he's like the most powerful in the series. I mean, maybe the range could work, but I don't know. I feel like he'd have to be really fast to do that before she can put up her shield, but I don't think that's possible. And she also has range as well, and just like a bunch of different things she doesn't use. She mostly uses defense and healing, but she does have different like attacks that she used before. She just never uses them again.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, and in One Piece, it's more open. Like there's not, like many houses and like buildings in the way, right?
Yeah,
With One Piece, sorry, with Bleach, if she's in the room, for example, it's gonna be like it's not really gonna get like a good shot.
yeah. She can just shield bash him.
But I would argue like in One Piece they fight in closed rooms rarely, but I still think more often than they did in Bleach that I remember at least. Not that I remember a lot of fights,
Yeah.
but I feel like
Yeah,
especially with Wakamundo was all like
yeah, that was pretty
dead
open.
space. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. It really depends. I feel like Usopp might have, well, of course, Usopp might have like more of an advantage in One Piece, and Orihime might have more of an advantage in Bleach.
Yeah.
But like, I feel like it mostly just comes down to like the space that they're fighting in. I feel
Yeah.
like if Usopp has uh more like vantage points, maybe he can pull something off on Orihime. But I feel like if he doesn't really have like an angle or just a way to trap her, bait her or something, maybe I don't think she can or he can really do anything with his range.
Yeah, it's still pretty calm.
what?
Yeah.
No, yeah.
Yeah.
Mommy wants.
Yeah.
All right.
You guys had this discussion before, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we've had it before.
I
I
think
feel
that
like
multiple times now.
Such a
It's always
random. It sounds like such a random like pairing though to me.
it
Yeah.
is pretty. I don't even know how it started.
Yeah, it definitely started between me and the anime, bro, because
Yeah.
you know he's a big One Piece fan and I'm a big
Oh, yeah.
Bleach fan. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
we're
I'm just
talking about
on the fence.
yeah, we're just talking about like weaker characters and stuff. We could probably think of like a billion matchups between Bleach and One Piece.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
And I would argue like Bleach would probably win most of them. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like One Piece in terms of raw power is probably the weakest of the big three. I feel like Ichigo versus Luffy versus Naruto, Luffy would die. Well, I mean,
Well, I mean,
the
like,
power up with the power up that he got
Oh,
recently,
Anime Bro is coming
maybe.
I'm just putting it out. One Piece is not finished. Okay, so we could have some broken powers in the like. It would be a different story if like all of these three were finished, but no, like especially like recently, like Luffy was able to fight like
yeah.
Kaido, who's a dragon.
But
which
Yeah.
even then, like I would argue that Kaido against, I don't know, like Madara, I think Kaido would lose.
Yeah, definitely.
I just feel like
I,
it's not the
I,
same
well, I
level.
mean, like, how much, like, first of all, like, Kaido literally, yes, I'm defending One Piece, okay? Look, I'm, I need to be here. Like, Kaido
I
literally
love One Piece.
jumped off of, like, the freaking, like, sky
I
and
know, I know.
lived, so, like,
Yeah, but I still don't like. And don't take this the wrong way. If I prefer One Piece, like by a long shot, I
yeah.
prefer One Piece to
Yeah,
Naruto. To me, it's not like being strong doesn't mean I like it most, but I just feel like One Piece has the more grounded powers, I guess, out of the big three.
yeah, yeah. Definitely, that's where. Yeah, this is definitely where it started. It's like just out of the big three, I feel like anime bro thinks it's I I don't know. I don't know to say
I mean,
say anything really.
like Aizen against anyone in One Piece. I mean, come on,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
it's
I
quite.
mean, even
I
though
mean,
Aizen's power, not his power, but the thing that he was doing in his fight, where nobody could get to him, that was
Yeah,
essentially like conquer Zaki. That it was
yeah.
basically the same concept.
yeah.
So I don't
I,
know how that apply. But
I
I'm
feel
not good
like
at
when it
power
comes,
scaling.
yeah, I used to be one, but I kind of dropped it. So it's kind of like for me. But I feel like with the big three, it mostly comes down to like Bleach being raw power, just insane like strength and whatever, and then One Piece is mostly like
Yeah, that's
hacks, like
Naruto.
abilities and
Naruto's
stuff.
raw power,
Mm.
like Naruto could destroy the moon. Like Bleach is
Yeah,
not going near that.
no, but I feel like the fights in Naruto are less about raw power than the fights in Bleach. I think that's what you mean.
Yeah,
I guess it
they're more so
depends on the
about
character, like
True,
because
true.
like Madara, yeah, that's raw power, like straight up. He's not doing strategies and stuff. He just got that power.
yeah, but Ichigo like full hollow. That's raw strength.
definitely
Yeah.
just
I mean,
talking
that
Montreal
blast is
shadows.
really powerful. So
Yeah. I was gonna say Naruto comes down to more like technique than like One Piece having hacks and um Bleach having like raw power because like I don't know, it's just more combat oriented and taijutsu and everything. It seems like it has more strategy and everything, but
Yeah,
uh I don't know. I just feel like I mean back to what you said about him not being able to destroy the moon. I feel like I mean they said multiple times in the manga. I think I watched the video somewhere and they put the scan, so I know it was there. But they said multiple times in the manga that like the Soul Reapers keep the entire universe in balance and stuff like that. So I don't know. I just feel like it's a wash on Bleach side compared to One Piece, but I don't know. That's just me.
wasn't like the nine tailed creatures? Weren't they like the force that could have destroyed the world or something like that? I don't know. I don't know much about Naruto lore, but I know like the Ten Tails was like the biggest threat for like the longest time until they split it
Mhm.
up into like the nine tailed creatures, which is kind of why the world's not destroyed now.
Yeah,
Mm.
they've said a couple times that like some of the tailed beasts, specifically like the nine and the ten tails, could had like the potential to destroy the world and stuff. But like when we're watching Bleach, you see the last villain, and Ichigo is able to beat him. So that kind of really speaks to the point of Ichigo just being insanely strong. But the last villain, he wanted to basically destroy the entire universe, which is basically like if I'm remembering correctly, uh they have Weko Mundo, Soul Society, and they said that those are reflections of the living world. So that's basically like three worlds, and then I heard if you want to translate it differently, it's like universes. So like that's three universes or worlds that he was going to destroy and recreate, and Ichigo was able to beat him. So I don't know. I mean, you also have like Momoshiki from Naruto who created the universe, and Naruto could beat him. But I don't want to get into the whole scaling thing to bother you guys. But like, yeah, it just feels like a completely different ballpark if you like look at like the feats and what they were doing. But yeah, I don't want to bother you with the nerdy stuff, the power scaling.
I mean, manga by itself is already a nerdy thing.
Yeah,
I would say.
that's true. That's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't. I'm really not too much of a power scaling guy. I kind of prefer more. I don't know, just like the personality and the character stories and how they interact with each other. I'm much of a how are these characters like with each other kind of guy, like ensemble cast and things like that. Which is why my favorite manga is Doro, because it's just a bunch of guys trying to kill each other, a bunch of factions, and they just interact in the most fun of ways. And they revive all the time, which is at first that sounds like something that is like a negative aspect because they are constantly like being killed and then brought back. But once you understand that that's going to happen, you can just enjoy the complete gore fest that is happening whenever there's a fight going on.
I don't know, like Dragon Ball characters, they quote unquote die, but it's like, is that really a bad thing? Like, is that?
I feel like, yeah, I feel like the Dragon Ball is a little bit different. I mean, I still need to rewatch Dragon Ball because the last time I watched Dragon Ball, I was like 8.
Wow.
So it's been a while, but I feel like it was different because they used to like go back. They had this thing of grabbing the Dragon Balls every single arc because every single arc someone died, and it just felt like I don't know, like the purpose of Dragon Balls changed over time.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, Dragon Ball itself changed over time. I remember when the first Dragon Ball came. It was like super old. It was super awesome. I wouldn't say it, but it was much more like gag comedy based and not so much on fighting. And then Dragon Ball Z happens.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I actually I should probably read Dorohedoro because I feel like I feel like the concept of reviving and everything is kind of different. I can't imagine that it's like the same as Dragon Ball because Dragon Ball I feel like can get kind of repetitive, like you said, with just always going to find the Dragon Balls and stuff like that. And I feel like just like the stakes are different. I don't really feel like there's that many stakes in Dragon Ball, but yeah, Dragon Ball it's a cool series, but I definitely need to read Dorohedoro.
I feel like it's different also because in Dragon Ball there's a lot of I'm gonna sacrifice myself to give this final blow to this enemy and things like that. And then that it's supposed to be sad, but when you know that they're gonna be alive the next scene or the next arc, I guess it's not. With
Yeah.
Doro they don't real there's not really that. They don't really try to give you like any emotional attachment to the deaths. They just get beaten and they're dying until someone gets through and revives them, like Fortnite, where you just are dead for like a second and someone goes there and revives you. It's just essentially that.
Yeah.
And you also follow like all factions. They're not even if when you start, it sounds like one of them is the villain. Over time, you get to understand that you're just following them all as main characters.
Oh, so it's like something like Game of Thrones.
Yeah,
No,
a little bit like that.
I kind
The
of.
moment Game of Thrones comes up, oh my god.
Yeah,
I won't
speaks
go
to
into the
it.
deep political lore of Game of Thrones. Don't worry.
Yeah. Well, Doro doesn't have a deep political lore, but it has like a bunch of people trying to kill each other, and it's like all these factions, and none of them is truly bad.
Is there a clear
Just
goal in mind? Like,
the main objective of the manga. Well, there is the main character, and the thing about the main character is that he was cursed, and he lost his memory, so he doesn't know who cursed him. And the only way to like stop the curse is to kill whoever cursed him. Because he doesn't even know who he is, it makes it a lot harder. So the whole point is in like trying to. He basically starts killing everyone that has magical powers, which are supposed to be the bad guys at first. But then the bad guys are trying to kill them because they're just basically murdering everyone that has magical powers.
Yeah.
And then there's like cults and whatever going the like when you reach the second half.
Yeah. I mean, the anime,
Yeah.
anime adaptation of it was really good as well.
I saw the first 2 episodes and yeah, they were I quite liked them. Yeah.
It sounds like God of War. How Kratos is supposed to go and kill all the gods and stuff like that.
Yeah, but it's different in the sense that it's like very ore based, and you look at Dora again. There's a lot of gore and everything's like dark and all these characters look very ugly. But then when you start like watching it, they're like super awesome and fun. They're just like throwing jokes at each other, and it's like this weird mixture of horror and comedy that's really nice.
No.
It's like a slice of life drawn by Junji Ito.
Yeah, exactly.
Is
That
there
sounds
world
interesting.
building
Definitely
at all?
It has a world building, and it's really interesting because it's like there's there's the humans who live on essentially like I guess a ghetto.
Yeah.
And then there's like the magic users that basically bully the humans into getting like they use the humans to try their magical spells and whatever, and they live on another world that is just for magic users. And then there's another world like for demons, like which is kind of like hell actually. And then the demons kind of have the same thing with they go into the magic world just kind of like bully the magic users. So there's like this weird hierarchy that's really fun. It gets a little bit complicated towards the end, but you have to read it or watch it.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to. It sounds very interesting. I'm really into those sort of kind of supernatural kind of like out of the I don't know what phrase I'm trying to use to describe it, but it's out of the norm kind of I guess types of series.
It definitely is. I feel like even for magic users kind of manga, it really feels super different than all the others.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved I think it was the first demon we saw. I can't remember his name.
The who?
The first demon. I think it's a demon or
yeah.
I can't remember his name, but yeah, it's really cool.
Yeah, the demons are really fun. They're like the most trolly characters. The whole thing.
Yeah. Sounds interesting. Sounds interesting.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of any other series that I've heard of like that or that sound like that I've read, but that's like a really unique premise. I've never really like read anything like that.
The only other stuff that I read that are similar to Dorodoro is the other manga by the same mangaka. She has now another one which is Die Dark, which is similar, but it's like you guys heard that?
Yeah, I've heard of that.
Yeah, it's like sci-fi. It's essentially like the same thing as Dorodoro. Gory, like very ugly characters, but then they're all just like really awesome and fun. But it's in space essentially. It's just a weird take on science fiction.
Well, it does sound interesting.
Yeah, especially because I think it's the main character. I've only read the first 2 volumes, but like the main character is best friends with Death, and Death just really likes the main character because the main character just essentially just murders everyone because everyone in the world is trying to kill him. So it's really fun.
Yeah. I'm definitely gonna read that one. I feel like with science fiction, there's not really a limit to what you can do with it. Like there's so much you can do with different planets and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Um, I feel like if you if you have that, then if you mess up, it's kind of your fault. Just not knowing how to write planets and stuff like that and people.
Yeah.
But because like with Dragon Ball, they had something there, and then it just kind of fell off. It just became something that was just there. Like with
Yeah.
Namek, for example, going to like that. It was interesting when they first went to Namek as like the first planet and stuff, but after that, it was just like, oh yeah, there's aliens all over the place and there's
Yeah.
different worlds, and
Yeah.
they
They
don't really
just feel
dive into it more.
yeah, they just feel like different character designs, I guess.
Yeah,
Which
definitely.
already existed in Dragon Ball, the first one. There was the random furry characters everywhere.
Yeah,
Which never
like
I don't remember ever being explained.
yeah, it was like there was a president. There was like a dog for a president or
Yeah.
something like that.
Just like
Yeah.
that's what happens. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just there. But I feel like if you're more like for example, there's a show that I really like, Cowboy Bebop. They really like use the sci-fi space elements to their advantage, and they go to different planets and stuff like that. There's different characters all over the place, and um I feel like any anime that can really like nail that, I feel like they have a good it's basically I haven't seen one that does it to like a very like insane level, but I feel like it'd be like a better version of One Piece maybe, just because they're already able to do so much on just like the sea and the earth or
Yeah.
whatever. But if you could like expand that adventure to like space and everything, I feel like it would be really good manga. But I definitely need to get into more sci-fi, see if there's
Mm.
anything like that.
Have you read or watched, because that is a anime, Kanata no Astro, Astro Lost in Space?
I've heard of it, but I've never watched it.
Yeah, I've read it last year. It's pretty good. Um, it's not like a One Piece in space. It's more like of a slice of life mystery. But
Mm,
these characters have to go through. I think it's 9 planets to get back to Earth, and
mm,
each planet is like completely different from each other. So every time they go to a planet, they have to like understand the rules, if anything is different, if there's monsters and things like that. It's really fun
mm.
and pretty short. I think. I think I
Okay.
read the manga in 2 days.
Oh wow.
Nice.
Mm.
Yeah, it's short. The plot twists at the end are really good as well. At least I like them. It just completely change how you look at the series.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah. I definitely have to put some of these on my sci-fi watch list.
Yeah.
Yeah. The only one that I've really the only ones that I've really watched that I can remember like fully are like Cowboy Bebop, which is the one I just mentioned, and there's another one that I haven't fully watched through, but Eden Zero by Ashima. He also made Fairy Tail.
Yeah.
That's
Oh yeah.
like yeah, sci-fi thing. I watched like a couple of I read the first few chapters and then I got a little further with the anime. I like how there's basically different planets that they go to and how they meet like basically all of the main cast on different planets. I feel like there's a lot of potential with it. And if I'm not mistaken, even they said that even the universe or the world of Fairy Tale is somewhere in there, but I feel like you can just there's so much that you can do with sci-fi worlds, especially like when it comes to connecting your different series and stuff like that. It's very interesting to think about.
Yeah. I I've heard a lot about it. I haven't personally read it, but I know I have some friends, especially Axel Blaze,
Mm.
who's been saying like, "Oh, this is the best manga of last year." Which he read all of them at this point. He
Oh.
read all of the manga from last year,
Mm.
and he says Eden Zero is one of the best. So it must be really good.
Yeah, it was pretty good. It was pretty good from the first couple chapters that I read. I definitely need to read more of it because I'm hearing that it gets better. Um,
Yeah.
I have a friend, Quentin, or
Yeah.
now he's known as Trigger Reviews, and he he couldn't stand it. He was reading it, And I remember he made a tweet. He's like, "Should I read it?" And then I was basically like, I was like, "Yeah, I'm reading it. It's okay. It's getting better. I'm at chapter 30 or something." And then he gets past it. He's like, "Man, this is terrible." But yeah, I feel like it's probably like either an acquired taste or just something that's well, I guess it's the same thing, just something that's not for everybody. But I definitely have to read more of it.
Hmm.
Huh.
I just don't read a lot of ongoings. I read all of Shonen Jump, like I think I mentioned, and that is way too much. So I just barely read any other. The only other two I'm reading is Dandadan
Mm.
and Kami-san.
Hmm.
And I don't even know why I'm reading Kami-san. I mean, I really like Kami-san. I just don't know why that was the one I picked as the ongoing to read.
I was gonna say something, but I don't know. Anime Bro Online, you guys have been talking. If you guys want
I'm
to
in
say
the loop.
anything,
I've pretty much just been listening.
Same
yeah,
here. Also, I just had a
yeah,
call from work, so kind of
mm,
yeah.
You guys, you guys
I
want to
was
chime in?
I was just gonna say, or yeah, do you guys want to chime in before I say
Uh,
anything else?
well, I guess. Well, I actually, so I was gonna say something. I just forgot.
Oh.
Oh yeah, wait, hold on. Okay,
Yeah.
sorry. I was just when I was just thinking of something, but I was just like comparing like a whole bunch of different things around
Mm.
because
It's
when you said you were getting into the science fiction stuff, I was kind of surprised because normally most of the politics stuff that I talk about, even though Game of Thrones has that, is in science fiction, and most of the stuff that I've read, like I don't remember mostly because I read a lot and I just don't remember
Gundams.
their names. But most of the stuff I read and like the ones with usually deals with politics is the science fiction stuff. So like One Piece doesn't really have it, or it's not in a same.
It it
It kind of does, but it's not in a like
yeah.
it's not heavy politics. Like like different
Yeah.
factions and stuff, but you don't know like taxes or like who
I,
really
Technically, all
owns.
kick has them.
Oh,
All
okay,
kick has them as taxes.
uh, yeah, but honestly, I don't think like
Yeah, I get you.
it. Yeah, it's not really taxes; it's more like a trade-off thing, which is stuff like that. But yeah, I was just curious because it was like most of this stuff especially because I talk a lot about world building and politics and stuff, and you guys really don't like that, and so I was just curious why like you want to get into science fiction stuff when I talk basically most of the stuff that's usually in science fiction or the stuff I've read.
um I feel like it's it's a little different. I feel like usually when you talk about like science fiction, I feel like it's not as connected as as it seems because I don't know, while it is kind of how do I say it? It's kind of like it has that same level of like complexity.
Hmm.
It's like a lot different like because with science fiction I feel like it's a lot more like just like outside of the box, like not really constricted to like the imagination. It's like there's like literally anything can happen, and it's like with politics and stuff like that, and more so just like world building. It's like more. I feel like more usually more how, I don't know how to phrase it. Kind of just like compact. It doesn't really like there's the world, but it's not like infinitely expanding. Whereas like with science fiction you can like go really far and there's like really no limit to the concepts and everything that you can introduce, and within those concepts there's like things that you'll take interest in and things that you won't, whereas like with world building it usually kind of has like a solid tone. I don't feel like it usually ever I don't know expands out of like how it's like for Game of Thrones for example, it's just grounded in like a older, like less modern world or whatever, and I feel like it doesn't really expand upon that, and I can't really get interested in it. But
Well, it's like
I don't
just
know.
other genres because the one thing about world building is it's mostly it just like the reason why fantasy is normally like this is not because of this is how fantasy is supposed to be. It's because Tolkien wrote something like this, so everyone's trying to write copy what he's doing. So
Exactly.
everyone's
Mm.
trying to do the medieval times and stuff like that. Because Harry Potter's fantasy, people who usually and that basically is expands upon like science and like technology and stuff that had been going on since since man discovered iron or like even metal and stuff like that. So it really kind of depends. Um, and with like the fantasy thing, it's always evolving, which is kind of something I like about it. So like even though something that like is not usually in fantasy, it kind of really depends on it. Again, Game of Thrones has science. It's not like a deep in depth like spaceships and stuff, but it has a bit of science in it. Like there's this like powerful bomb they use called I think it's called Fellfire or something like that. It's like this green fire, and it's just like and that's not really magic. It's actual like science. It's just a very strong concoction that once like lights up, it goes really like quickly. And I think it's like something like gasoline a bit, or
Mm.
and stuff like that. It's just when it comes to well, the thing about it is like world building is a complicated thing. It's an ever evolving thing in science. It's an ever evolving thing in fantasy. It's just I just make it complicated because I try to simplify it, but it's it really is a complicated mess that honestly
Mm.
I kind of did do
Y-
talk a lot about.
Yeah, I think I see where you're coming from.
But
Because
I,
Hmm?
I was gonna say the sorry.
yeah,
the
you go ahead.
the politics aspect.
Hmm.
We're going back, way back, but the
Yeah.
politics aspect of the sci-fi. I feel like those are mostly like mecha stuff, right?
Well,
I feel
yeah, I guess. Just my thing is I don't really like. I'm a person that goes to both like mediums. I go Western medium and Eastern medium, and it kind of really depends. Like for science fiction on the Western side, you get I think the main point that people bring up is Dune, and yeah, that's not really mecha stuff, but
Mm.
it is a very political heavy thing in Dune. Like you got factions and houses and stuff, and they're trying to control this planet called Dune because it has a resource that everyone wants, and that's basically kind of why it's called Dune because it's a fight. It's like basically why Game of Thrones is called Game of Thrones. It's a game of who gets to sit on the Iron Throne,
Game of
and
Thrones.
Dune is like, okay, let's see who can own this planet. So so I'm not really much into science fiction, so I can't really say much, really. But when it comes to when it comes to comparing the two mediums and stuff like that, I don't know much on science fiction on the anime side. Like I think
Mm.
the only one, the only one I know a bit about is mostly like I guess Eden Zero, but that's only because I've seen the anime.
Mm.
Um, I don't know much of other science fiction anime. They just haven't really caught my eye or isn't really something I'm interested in.
Yeah, I think the thing with just like between the Western and like the Eastern and just the differences between the two. I feel like kind of like how we were talking about in our other episode. Uh, it's kind of just different. Like I feel like the best example is with supernatural, which is my favorite genre,
Hmm.
where you have it's just like they do things differently in one region than the other. It's like with supernatural, you have like for over there they have their own spirits and stuff like that that they base their supernatural series on and whatnot. And then over here, you have more so like just ghosts and demons, angels, whatever. But I feel like that's the same with every genre, but it's not as pronounced because with supernatural, you at least have like the different deities and stuff that the Eastern and the Western believe in separately. But with like sci-fi, you have to go in a little deeper. Like for example, there's a difference between like Dune and Eden Zero. It's not exactly the same concept of
Yeah.
just expanding like further and further and just expanding upon the world, or it's just like um whatever you said the premise of Dune is. I don't remember, but
You control
yeah,
this planet, same thing Game of Thrones. Try to get on the throne.
yeah, just control one planet. Even with Cowboy Bebop, it's like there's just so much to do in the world. It's not so much even in Cowboy Bebop. It's not so much about expanding it, but more so just about how vast it is. And like in science fiction, here it's more just like a centralized topic or just a one singular point that we're focusing on. There's like with Western was it or Eastern? I don't remember. Japan. The
Eastern.
Eastern.
Eastern. Yeah, I got them mixed up. But with Eastern, with Eastern, it's more like just um completely like there's really no limits to a universe. I'm sure there's like more different examples between different genres, but I feel like it's just a thing of the West and the East doing things differently,
Well, I guess
pretty
it's
much.
also like different points and or as in like different things that a lot of people inspire to. Like with fantasy, I know in the Western part, a lot of fantasy tries to base their stuff on Tolkien, so that's why you get the medieval, you get the dragons, you got the armies and stuff, because that's what Tolkien popularized. But in the East, what I did know was that most of their stories are based off of, or some of them. I don't actually know a whole bunch of manga. Most of it is based off of Journey to the West, which
Mm.
Mhm.
so
Yeah.
like that's stuff like Dragon Ball. That's maybe One Piece. Honestly, like kind of has a similar.
Mm,
I don't.
Vaguely, I'm yeah, but vaguely based on yeah.
But yeah, so like most of the popular stuff is based off of like that and stuff. So, two different countries, you're gonna
Yeah,
have two different
yeah, that's interesting that you bring that up.
inspirations and
Mhm.
stuff, which is kind of why I also like it going into actual history too, because it's like you could see like where most of the similarities come into from like modern day and stuff, which is why I'm a big like world building guy. I really do like really deep
Hmm.
world building. Except Fate,
Mhm.
like honestly, show me the Fate timeline and I'm like, get out of here. No.
Yeah.
Or the Monogatari one, for example.
uh, I don't
Mhm.
Yeah. Yeah, it's crazy because I'm a fake guy and I know Lion's a Monogatari guy, so you probably hate us for being on the same podcast.
uh,
I'm pretty much going to cry technically, but
Oh yeah, true, true. Yeah. I want to ask since we're on the topic of like genres now, manga crash. What's your favorite genre to get into just overall?
I think I don't have a favorite genre. I guess I would say horror.
hmm,
Not
Mm.
because most of my favorite manga are horror, because they tend to not be.
yeah.
But I just love like getting into horror manga. Even when they suck, they generally tend to be pretty fun. So
Mm.
yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually haven't read that many horror mangas, so
there's not
I don't.
too many, I guess, or there are, but there's not too many that are actually good.
Hmm.
I would
Mm,
say. And when they are, they're like depends on what you consider to be good.
mm,
Because, for example, Children was a manga that I read that I don't recommend to most people because it's a horror manga called Children, so you
Hmm.
can kind of guess what's happening.
Yeah.
No.
But it's super gory, and the visuals are like it's drawn like very cutely. But again, like since it's super gory, it is very eerie in a way that very few manga have been. Um,
Mm.
and I like that. But then if you ask me like, oh, is the story actually like decent? It's okay. it's
Yeah.
yeah. And that's I feel like that's the most the best ones for me are things that just use a little bit of horror, like for example like Toradoro or like Berserk. That technically yes, it is kind of horror, has a lot of horror elements, but it's not really a horror manga.
Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah. Yeah. When it
Yeah.
comes to horror manga, I feel like you said, I don't really ever hear much about like the story. I feel like it's more so just like the art and whatnot.
Yeah.
Um Even when it comes to like more notable mangaka like Junji Ito, we all know that he does like a lot of Japanese horror manga and whatnot, but it's like I don't really ever hear too much about like the story in
Because
his
there's no.
series and whatnot.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because Junji Ito is not so much about the story. Junji Ito, like you read the manga, and he's really good at short stories because of this. He does a manga just to build up for that spooky panel or that spooky page. It's just that.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, because like I've heard about a couple, and like you said, I feel like whenever I do find one that I would consider like like a Japanese or like a horror manga or whatever, I
Mhm.
feel like it's mostly just the fact that it has gore in it. It's not really horror per se. Like for example, like 20 odd line. I don't, I don't know. I see your whole name.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. I think something messed up. For those who are here, I am sorry. I am so sorry. Something has happened on my internet. Jeez Louise. Hello? Jeez Louise. Why is this acting up now?
You guys,
Have you no, what were you saying?
I was gonna say, like, if you guys like dark humor, you can try Frankenfran. But that is like horror comedy, but that one is like really gory, but in a comedic way. But it is very messed up. The jokes that he tells, they are very messed up. It's not for for everyone.
Mm. Yeah, I see. I see. I feel like manga like that. I could take a lot of. I don't know if it's just me. I'm not really affected by stuff like, but I could
Yeah.
see it not being for everybody.
Yeah, it really depends. I grew up with horror like since I was a little kid because my parents really didn't care what I watched. They had the DVDs at home and I could watch any of them. So I by the time I was like 12, I had watched like 20, 30 horror movies and then played a bunch of horror games as well. So it really doesn't affect me now. But I know, like, I know people who do, and also people are like who say like, "Oh, this wasn't spooky, so it sucks," and that's like something to me that doesn't make sense because I love a lot of horror movies, and most of them didn't like scare me. I love when one of them does, but very very rarely does that happen, and I can enjoy it because it does other things.
I agree. If it's not scary, it doesn't really ruin the movie for me. If it has like at least if it has other things to lay back on. I feel like if it still has a good story, good characters, and everything, then it doesn't really ruin it. But I feel like yeah, I was the same. I watched like a lot of horror and stuff, but it's funny you mentioned games. I could not do horror games whatsoever. Like I I had two notable experiences where I just could not do it. It's funny because one of them wasn't even a horror game, but the first one was Resident Evil, and I used to have like this aunt's house that I went to like all the time, and basically she had a brother and he had like a PlayStation 3. He had Resident Evil on there, and he basically let me play whatever I want, and then so I basically put Resident Evil in there one time, and I don't know which one it was, but basically the intro was uh it was like a basically an abandoned house.
Resident
I
Evil 4.
Yeah, Resident
No,
Evil. What
is it?
was it?
Yeah, the first one.
Depends because the first one is on a mansion.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think the fourth one is like an empty cabin or something.
Fourth one's a
yeah.
tower.
Mm-hmm.
I,
But you start on the cabin.
I'm not sure. I think whichever one he doesn't start him around like civilization, I guess. But
Yeah.
yeah, I basically started in front of the house and I didn't even I was just walking around for most of the time. I didn't step foot into the house
Yeah.
and I turned off the game. But and the second experience it like I said, it wasn't even a horror game. It was Devil May Cry. I just couldn't. I was scared of like the demons, so I couldn't play them. It was just like the movements. I really couldn't do it. But yeah,
You know what? You know what's the funny thing? Devil May Cry was supposed to be a Resident Evil spin-off
Yeah.
before they
really?
changed the name. Yeah. So
Uh-oh.
technically,
Yeah, it was a concept for Resident Evil 4, but they scrapped it. But one of the creators was like, you know what, I can make a game out of this. So that's how
Yeah.
Devil May Cry came to be.
Oh, oh, I never
So,
knew that.
so you're kind
It's
of
one of
not
my
off that it may have been on her, actually.
Oh, I see. Yeah, that makes sense. They are fighting like demons and everything, but it's like
Yeah.
with Devil May Cry, it usually just comes down to like a villain or like a human, more like humanoid antagonist and stuff. So I feel like the
Mhm.
demons were just like a side thing that I was scared of, and I couldn't get over it. It's funny because I asked for it so much, and then I got it on Christmas. I got it with I think it was yeah, Sonic Unleashed, and
Yeah.
I played Devil May Cry, and then I got a little bit into it and I was just like I couldn't do it. I was too scared. And to this day I regret I regret it because I made my parents return it and everything just because I was so scared. But I never played it. Got too scared.
Did you get scared of Sonic Unleashed?
It was spooky.
Sonic Unleashed was good. Sonic Unleashed was good. It was kind of spooky, but like I feel like just the fact that Sonic was so cool to me, it kind of negated the scary aspect. But yeah, that was a lot more fun to me. I really liked that.
Never finished it. I had it for the PS2, but was really late on my PS2 journey. I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Just some clarification on the stream. I'm having some technical difficulties, so the stream may not be running smoothly. So, and also there was like actually, I don't know if you guys knew or if I was just talking to myself, but there was a bit of time where my computer was acting up, so the stream may have like may have been like a couple of minutes where you guys were talking and it didn't pick that up. So there's also that too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, because you're the one recording. Well,
yeah.
Oops. I don't remember what I said.
Yes. I remember. It's funny because we're gonna go from like talking about horror to talking about Sonic Unleashed.
I mean, like we went everywhere, honestly.
Yeah.
But, you know, that's why that's what we made the live stream for. It. We stay on topic, but then you know we
for a little bit.
Yeah. Then we go off and do like. We were talking about manga, and then we went to like video games. Like, wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's really easy to transition between, I guess if you say all that nerdy stuff, I guess.
Yeah.
But
pretty much.
Yeah, talking about genres and everything.
Yeah.
Okay, now that we spoke about horror games, what are some of your favorite horror movies you watched?
My favorite horror movie is Alien because it was the first one. I feel I watched it when I was a kid, and I still really love it. I still think it's a really good movie.
Is it
all of them.
Or is it like a psychological horror?
It's kind of like a slasher, I guess. It's just not as brutal as the 80s slashers, I would say. But yeah, basically the plot is well, there's an alien that gets inside a spaceship, and because like they're on a spaceship, these 8 guys are inside cannot like leave the spaceship, and the alien just starts like eating them one by one.
That sounds like Alien.
It's really good, and it's like if you've never seen Alien, you go watch Alien, and then you go watch like so many other stuff, and you're gonna see like the inspiration, especially like visually, on so much stuff. Like if you guys know Nihei, the guy who wrote Blame, there's just so much like of Alien like in it. That's the guy is basically just drawing like the backgrounds is just taken out of Alien mostly.
Yeah.
Just so much. Claymore also has a lot of like visual influence on it. It's everywhere, really. Once you pick it up. I see Alien, but the Alien is drawn by H.R. Geiger, which is an artist, and it's just like is art, I guess. It's very influential in the horror space.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's my favorite. I also I really love like the remake of the Evil Dead. I thought that was pretty fun. Zombie movies like Dawn of the Dead, both the original and the remake are also really cool. I haven't watched recently many movies though. Like I think the most recent one that I really enjoyed was It Follows. It Follows is pretty fun. And technically Doctor Strange 2, which is done by the same guy who did Evil Dead. That's a really good horror movie. In my opinion, I really love the movie. I know a lot of people hate it.
I'll definitely have to check some of these out. I have not watched any horror in a long time.
Yeah, it's been a while for me as well. Just watching movies in general. Now I just started watching. Recently, with my girlfriend, like the new season of Stranger Things.
Oh
Mm.
yeah.
We've only watched the first 2 episodes, but it's really good so far.
Yeah.
I love me Stranger Things.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know Lion. Lion wants to probably talk about
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
Stranger
but
Things.
Yeah.
like the first 2 episodes are awesome. Um, I just my problem is more so with the romances or whatever that feel like they're changing every single season. Um, but yeah, that's I still haven't seen much of this season again because I'm still on episode 2. So we'll see how it
Yeah.
develops.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean the romances are pretty weird.
Yeah, that is better Harry Potter ones though. I've recently rewatched all of Harry Potter because I watched like Harry Potter came out. The first movie came out when I was like 11, so I was the exact same age as Harry Potter. So I watched a movie per year till I was 18.
No.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Well, it was really nice. I caught it really nicely on the specific like age I needed to enjoy the movies. Um, but then when I recently, like I think it was last year, I watched all of the movies again, like binge them. Oh my god, they are like the romances specifically. They are like the worst thing. They're so badly done.
Okay, well,
Um,
I've been told the books actually did it better, so you have to read the
yeah,
books.
I've read the books, but I also read the books when they came out. At least
Yeah.
like the last 3. It's been a while, so I don't really remember.
I know a
And
lot of that world building too, so
yeah, I still have the books, of course. So if I ever want to go back to read them, the first 4 are completely destroyed because when I was a kid, I just read them all so much. I just read and reread them.
yeah.
But right now, I don't kind of don't want to go back to it anymore. I don't know. I haven't seen the new movies either. I just don't feel like motivated to do so. The Fantastic Beasts one.
Yeah.
It just don't call me too much.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm actually not that into Harry Potter. uh, I know like a little bit here and there from like looking at stuff, kind of like how I know like a little bit about Game of Thrones and what is it, Lord of Rings from Anime Bro. But yeah, I'm actually the one piece of Harry Potter media that I'm actually anticipating is the game that's coming out.
Oh yeah.
It seems really interesting. I think I want to get that. I don't know if it's gonna be or if it's gonna expand upon the actual series or if it's gonna have things from like the lore and canon and stuff like that.
Oh, I
But
mean, I could
I
tell you,
definitely
but do you want to hear it?
oh my gosh.
You want to spoil the entire game?
Yeah, I think I'll wait.
Yeah.
I think I'll wait.
I kind of want to get into that game as well because I really liked the first 2 games, the Philosopher's Stone and the Chamber of Secrets. The video games for that, at least for the PC and for the PlayStation 1. They were really good. They were you could explore the castle. At least I think the PC one let you explore the castle, learn the spells and everything like that. It was really, really fun. And then from the 3rd and the 4th one, you kind of just followed the plot, and I didn't enjoy those as much. And then I haven't played the other ones, so I'm kind of expecting this one to follow more along the lines of those first 2. That's why I'm kind of excited.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the updated visuals and stuff like that. But I didn't know there were other Harry Potter games.
They made a game for every movie, I think.
Yeah.
And then there's like the Quidditch one, which I played a lot as a kid as well.
Oh wow.
But I think I don't know. There might be others. I think I know there's like mobile games and stuff, but those don't really. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say it's almost I don't want to get anime bro talking too much, but I was gonna say it's almost like how they make like a what is it, like an anime for every persona. Like they made one for 4 and then they made one for 5.
Yeah,
And
the Trias movies.
They don't have like the first two, but yeah, they do
Yeah.
have one for 3, 4, 5.
Because this is like I've played the first one and I enjoyed it, but nobody really cares much about the first two Persona games. So
yeah. Yeah, I heard a little bit about them. Even like I was talking to Anime Bro the other day, and he said that like as like the Persona fan here, he was like, "Oh yeah, it's." I was like asking him which games I should get into, and then he's like, "Probably shouldn't get into like 1 and 2 because not many people pay attention to those or whatever."
Yeah.
And it's just like there's not really, it's not as interesting as like 3, 4, and 5, and even 3 is kind of like different in terms of like mechanics and everything.
Yeah.
So like 4 and 5 are like the better places to start.
Yeah.
I started with 3. I haven't played 4. I played 1, 3, and 5. I only like the odd ones. And yeah, the first one is really clunky because it's really old. I really enjoyed 3. I still think it's my favorite just because that's kind of the first one, the one I grew up with, the one I played the most. Because even in 5, I didn't play too much because my PlayStation died, and I would have to restart. I still like have the game to replay. I got to the second. I got like to the painter arc, the beginning of it, and then it just. And then it was a hard drive, so it played in my yeah. I want to because I really like the game, but it's like, oh, I'm gonna have to start from the very beginning, and it's like 10, 15 hours for me to get back to the point where I was.
Yeah, that actually,
so yeah,
that is a sad thing about Persona is like the story's good, but the intro's like 15 hours long. So
yeah. Even like I think I played Persona 4 for like 5 hours, and I don't consider myself to have played Persona 4 because that I didn't even finish the intro there.
Yeah, I have to get into the Persona games. I played or I haven't played them. I actually have Persona 5 Royale right here in my little game bin, but I haven't played it. I got it like 2 years ago, but I haven't had time to play it. But I'm also gonna get another game that's probably just gonna another Persona game that's probably just gonna sit there building up dust. But I'm gonna get Persona 4. I think I'm gonna get the Persona 4 Golden, but also like the one that came out recently. I think it's a fighting game.
Persona 4 Arena Ultimate.
Yeah, Arena Ultimate.
Man, I know that. Dang, that's sad.
You have change your channel name. Persona, bro.
The Persona, bro.
The Persona, bro. I got the Persona 4 on the computer, and I haven't played it yet. I need to get to it.
Yeah, I definitely need to get into like the older Personas. Excuse my background if you guys can hear that, by the way. I feel like my background has been insane. But yeah, the Persona games, definitely need to get into them eventually because all I hear is good about them and everything. But
just stay away from the fandom because if you don't like toxicity, yeah, Persona fandoms are pretty toxic.
Yeah. I want to say Persona fans, I feel like I can compare them. I don't really know much about it, but like to the JoJo's fandom. I don't know why.
Oh,
I feel like they're similar.
JoJo fandom is scary.
No, Persona fans are like, it's like the waifu wars, but like 10 times worse.
Oh, I see.
Like people still like compare older, like Persona 4 came out in 2008, which is like 10 years ago, and people are still complaining on what waifu was better.
Yeah. On the topic of like waifus, how do you guys feel about that? Like, do you think it's like a really big problem? Because when it comes to that, personally, I feel like when people get mad that their ship didn't happen, it's I feel like it's really a waste of time to get mad about that because I know with Bleach, like me being a Bleach guy, that's a big thing with it. Like everybody always argues that Kia should have been the one that Ichigo ends up with, but just like in general with every fandom, like do you guys think that it's like a big problem?
It depends, like, honestly, like, especially, like, because, I am a Persona fan, and because there's no canon ship, that is a big, like, thing. So it's not like, oh no, this was like the worst ship that happened. It's like, this is canon ship, and here is why. And then they like put a novel down on why it's the canon ship and stuff. So it depends. Like if it's like Naruto, where like, oh no, they wanted like Sakura or Hina. No, not Sakura and Hinata. Sasuke. I guess really
I
technically.
wanted Sakura and Hinata to end up together. That would be my dream pair.
Yeah.
Actually, I think the biggest ship was Naruto and Sasuke. Believe it or not. So.
Yeah. I believe that My Hero is the same with
Oh my god, yeah.
people still believing
Yeah.
that Deku is not gonna end with who that forgot her name, but Gravity Girl. Ooh, Gravity.
Yeah.
They believe it's gonna end up with Bakugo, and there's like arguments as for why. And I'm like, do you like? I get it that you may want that to happen. I feel like that's fine, but you have to set like some ground rules, like some expectations, right?
Yeah.
Because that's not gonna happen.
Yeah.
Just read the room. Like, well, I guess that's My Hero fans in a nutshell. Is just like
Yeah.
two
I
people
feel
meet
like
in a
it's
room.
just
Holy
a lot of
crap, they
headcanon
need
with
to
them. They
be
just
together.
Yeah. It's like, no.
Yeah.
But I feel like the problem is not so much when you ship characters, but more so when that ship doesn't happen.
Yeah.
Then again, with Persona is kind of like different, or Danganronpa it's kind of like different,
Yeah.
because those are games where you can choose your wife and words. Just stay with that.
Yeah.
But like with series, especially with things like quintuplets, for example. I'm not sure if the anime has caught up with the manga.
Nah, I think
No.
I think they're working as
Oh,
it
wait.
too.
Yeah. Well, I'm not gonna spoil who he ends up with, but
Yeah. I was gonna say.
yeah, I'm not gonna spoil. But the thing is, like, if there's 5 options, it's normal that you're gonna enjoy like one character more than the other, and it's likely that the character that you like is not going to end up being the final girl. That happened with me. My favorite character was not the final girl, but I just accept it. I just like the fine. I feel like it still made sense. So it's fine. Same thing with Nisikoi. Like it really did not. Nisikoi really fucked me over on
Wait, who
on
do you
that.
want to end up in Nisikoi?
Shitoge. I don't know how she's pronounced, but yeah, the girl that he likes for the entirety of the manga and that likes him for the entirety of the manga. Yeah, I was like, okay, these two are in love for 200 chapters. Of course, I want them to get together. And then on the last one, they're like, nope. I mean, and it makes kind of some sense because, yeah, the relationship between him and actually, no. Shitoji is a blonde girl. Now that I'm thinking about it. Oh no, Daryl was the one that I wanted him to stay with. And then yeah, he ends up with Shitoji. Yeah, sorry, my I need to reread Nisekoi. But yeah, he ends up with her. It makes sense. Like the manga has building up the relationship for the entirety of the manga.
Yeah,
but it's still like, no, man. They were in love for 200 chapters. Give me this. Yeah. But I accept it. That's all I have to do. Like with other stuff, like for example, Lavina, which is my favorite rom-com and one of my all-time favorite manga. At least with that one, it was super clear. Like, yeah, there's other girls, but there's like this one. and he's only going to be romancing this one. Sure, the other girls are gonna like him because this is still a power fantasy of this guy needs to have like a bunch of girls liking him.
Yeah.
But he's still like he clearly just wants this girl, and he ends up with this girl. Like,
Yeah.
I want to say it's a little tough because I'm thinking about it, and I'm writing a story, right? And man, I feel like I'm gonna have that problem because there are like two girls, and I feel like the main character of the story, I feel like it's just both so close to them. I feel like even when the like doing it myself, I feel like other like just mangaka can relate to it. Like being in this situation, I feel like I understand now why it's so
Yeah.
hard for them, and they might just completely steer off course to what you think will happen and what you want to happen.
yeah,
It's like it's just I don't know. So, yeah.
that's very likely to happen. But I think what you need to do is set up your ending. That's all I care.
Yeah.
Like if I've reached the end of the manga and the character that I wanted was not the one that he ended up with, but there's like I could see why in the manga or in the story, then I'm fine with it. And I feel like that's a problem with a lot of like recent rom-coms compared to the ones that I read back in the 2000s, is that that's not there anymore. Like we rom-coms now are kind of like, oh, there's X number of girls and he's going to end up with one and you have to guess it, but because the point of it is that you want to guess which character is, there's actually no connection, like no deeper connection to one more than the others. So when it reaches the end, I felt like this kind of quintuplets was a bit of a problem. When you reach the end, it's just kind of like, oh, I'm gonna pick anyone for that to be the final girl. It really didn't need to be because the manga set up all the others just as likely to be, but because we're in the end game now, I have to pick this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel like we need to build that up more.
Yeah, definitely. I agree. If it's more like if it's more I had the word, I forgot it, but I feel like if it's more like easy to like see who it's gonna end up with, even like if there's different characters, at the end of the day, you know who it's going to be, like because it's just it's just seems like the obvious choice, but definitely feel like there should be more of that.
Yeah, and even like you guys watch or read Blue Box, which is one of the new Jump manga.
Yeah.
That
I've heard
one,
of it.
yeah, that one is really good. It only has two characters, and it's good. Like the guy likes one of the characters, and the other character likes the guy. So, but with romantic triangles, I feel like it's much easier to build that up because there's only like two characters, and I can see like even in some scenes, like he clearly likes one girl, but I can see some scenes where okay, it makes sense if later on, not right now, but later on the storyline, he starts like liking this girl. Like things move and he changes opinions.
Yeah.
But that's right there, like you're really in the beginning still. Yeah.
I was just thinking Game of Thrones for some reason. I don't know why.
Yeah. Game of Thrones romance.
Oh, yeah. I think I remember why. It was like a quote George Martin said or something like that. He was talking about like how fan theories and stuff, people have these theories and things like that. And the one thing he wants to do is make twists in his books, but he realized, if he goes on these sites and looks up these fan theories and then just does like this random twist where it came out of nowhere and it doesn't hit, then he realizes, yeah, that's going to be a terrible thing, just making a twist because he just wanted to get the audience off edge. So what he says is like, it's just like he has an ending for when he's done writing the books. What he's doing is he's not paying attention to these fandoms because he doesn't want the pressure of like, I need to make this twist happen where like fans think, oh, this guy will be on the throne, and then he's like, well, nope, he's dead. And then it's like, okay, that was his original ending. So now he needs to come up with something that just like makes makes more that would make actual sense instead of just like going with his original one, which kind of really does. Which honestly, I do agree that if you do it right, like even if it is like obvious, I think it's better to have an obvious one than to have like a twist and it just come out of nowhere and just be like, this doesn't make sense at all. Like, where did this come from?
Yeah, I just read a horror manga relatively recently that had like that plot twist at the end where as soon as the plot twist happened, the story stopped making sense. Like what happened before stopped making sense, what happened after stopped making sense. So and it was clearly just there just to be an unexpected twist, because of course it wasn't built up, it didn't make sense. So of course I was not expecting it to be. So yeah, I don't necessarily like that.
Yeah.
I see. Yeah, I want to say that going back to like I don't like just like the structure of it, going back to like romance kind of it's kind of surprising specifically when both of you, Anime Bro and Moncrash, mentioned it. It's like I didn't think about it too much, but there's a surprising amount of manga that I know that have like or romance manga anyways that have like basically no solid like ships or anything like that. So like Persona, like you said, I didn't know that was what it was like. Danganronpa, I didn't know what that was like either. And then even going to series that I know personally, like One Piece is kind of like that. They don't really have any solid ships or anything like that.
Yeah.
I feel like those series they do have like an advantage of like unexpected, being kind of unexpected, but really it just comes down to like with those series, it's not so much, oh yeah, I built up this character so much, so if they're not chosen, it's kind of make a lot of people mad. Instead, it's like, oh, all these different girls are differently, just differently built up and have different things about them that would, that some people prefer more than others. But I feel like it wouldn't make the fans as mad since it's not like there was a specific choice or anything like that in the first place.
Yeah.
I just don't want like those kind of manga that at the final chapter they just make up like a bunch of random pairings just because. The ones where you get a time skip to them as an adult and every character is together with another character and they barely interacted. That's kind of like what I feel with Harry Potter, and that's why I was complaining, because there's like characters that seriously in the movies they do not interact at all, with the exception of maybe one scene, and they end up together. I'm like, no, like fuck you, I'm not invested.
I bet one of them was Harry and Ginny, right?
Harry and Ginny, yeah, and Neville and Luna.
Oh, that doesn't happen in the books.
Doesn't, okay, because I didn't remember that happening.
Yeah, Neville marries. I forgot. The thing about Harry Potter is that everyone's named and like has a specific backstory, which is really
and you don't care about half of them.
But Luna, believe it or not, is actually married to the grandson of the main character of the Fantastic Beasts. So that's something.
Yeah, I remember. Like, I think in Harry Potter, one of the characters, like one of the side characters, even changes like races, and nobody cares because nobody knows who the fuck he is.
Oh,
yeah. Speaking about that, oh my gosh, it was hilarious. I saw a couple months ago, it was a lot of discourse on Twitter.
Yeah.
Because the creator of Black Clover, if you guys know, like he does really good manga covers, but I feel like he tries to make a lot of background characters relevant, and
Mm.
basically he had this manga cover where it's like
Oh yeah,
Asta in
yeah,
his brand new black form and everything, his demon form,
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
and then it's just like the background character right in front of him. It looks like a PNG just slapped on there.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember that. The cover, like, it's because the cover without him is so cool because it was the
yeah,
Shonen Jump cover, I think. It's
yeah.
really, really cool looking. And then there's just like the guy like there.
Yeah. I feel like series that do that, that try to like make background characters relevant, they can work sometimes, but I feel like you really have to work hard for it because
Mhm.
if you're just trying to like force it like Harry Potter or Black Clover by just putting them on the cover,
Yeah,
it's like it doesn't really work out or anything like that.
yeah. Now, the thing about One Piece, no, Harry Potter,
Yeah.
sorry, is that it's not so much that they give them importance. It's just that they all like give them names, and there's like 50 named characters that do like one thing per book. And in the movies, you don't even know their names. So even when they change completely, like they change actors,
Yeah.
you're supposed to like follow that, but you don't because
He's
you,
like,
you don't care.
who's this character? Like,
Yeah,
they changed race?
Uh,
Oh,
yeah,
who
it's
is he?
fine.
Who is he?
Yeah,
Who is he?
yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I definitely I really don't like when they just try to I don't know. I feel like that's one thing that I wouldn't really like about Harry Potter, just the fact that they give all the characters names and stuff like that. Try to make it seem as if like they have some big part in the story, but I don't know.
yeah.
That's just me.
Yeah, it can be a little bit overwhelming, especially because there are like Harry Potter fans who know all the characters and their story arcs and whatever. They're really deep, and they go to the website Pottermore or whatever that's called to get more information. And I like that's cool. I kind of do that with One Piece, where I go after more information that is not on the manga, but
Yeah.
Oh, I
um,
remember there was like this weird fact that I'm good. I like world building like and stuff, but there are some things where I'm like, did I really need to know that? Like oh yeah, well they Rowling mentioned before there were toilets, what would happen
yeah,
is
yeah,
just the people would just do their business and then just well, I don't know if they just vanished it, made it
yeah,
vanish, and
yeah,
it's like
yeah.
that's cool, but
Why?
I didn't need to know that. I wasn't thinking like, oh, what did they do before toilets? It's
Yeah.
like,
I just feel
Yeah.
like she has too much time, like free time, because I feel like Tolkien would probably do the same thing if he existed now. Just go
well,
on Twitter and just drop it.
his focus was more on the languages
Yeah,
and also like with his case it was more of like why would you need to know what happened because it's like I don't think like technology existed, like magic was the main thing
yeah,
in Tolkien's
yeah,
world, so it's like if you did your business outside, it was like, well, yeah, everyone did their business outside in the Middle Ages, so it wasn't
yeah.
weird.
Yeah, but I wasn't really talking about that. I was more so mentioning that you probably would go on Twitter to just like kind of add like information, like random stuff about it,
Mm.
like random characters maybe. Like, oh, this character is actually the son of. He does this. There's I haven't touched my Lord of the Rings books in a while,
Mm.
but I remember like there's like 50 pages of just like of family trees and things like that to at
Yeah,
the end of each book,
yeah,
just like with extra lore that you really don't need to know,
well,
but it's there for fun.
well, it's the thing about it is that he created his world before he started his stories, so like
Yeah, yeah,
all that was there before Lord of the Rings was written.
yeah. I mean, Lord of the Rings wasn't even the first one.
Yeah, it wasn't even the first one. It was the Hobbit, the and
Yeah, I like the Hobbit more. As books, I like the Hobbit more. As movies, I like the Lord of the Rings more.
Well, yeah. Well, the thing about Lord of the Rings is it's pretty old. Like, to put it in perspective, Germany was not a country when Lord of the Rings came out.
Yeah.
Oh.
I've read older though. I've read pretty much everything from Edgar Allan Poe, and it's still like it's different. Because I think my problem with Lord of the Rings is how dense some of his descriptions are. Whereas in The Hobbit, is technically older,
Well, it's because
it's
it was a
less.
kid's book. It was
Yeah, it was a kid's book. It is not. I can assure you. I mean, I read it as a kid, but that book is massive. Or I will not like show that book to like a 5-year-old to read.
yeah, yeah.
But
Oh, nice! We got
yeah.
our first comment. Like almost
Yeah.
2 hours into this live stream. Holy crap! Thank you for coming.
So glad you're alive.
Isen, I don't know.
Isen?
Yeah, Isen.
Isen, yeah.
What's going on? What's going on, Isen?
What's going on?
I do have to go in a little bit though.
Okay, I guess. Well, Lion's probably already dead. So
I've been here the whole time.
yeah, but you were probably bored because we were going through a lot. So I guess we'll
Oh no,
just.
I was just drinking.
Drinking.
All
I could have
right.
joined you.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, this is a pretty long live stream, so honestly, I'm kind of fine ending it here. We talked.
Now that we got someone watching.
Yeah.
We
got our
we
one
achieved the thing.
Time it happened.
Yeah, we got our one fan. We honestly, I think it's time to end it. We reached our peak. We reached our peak.
We reached our peak. Our limit.
All right. So thank you so much for joining us on this live stream. I don't know if it was pretty laggy. I was having some issues myself. Thank you, Manga Crash, for coming here.
Yeah, thank you for having me. It was really fun. We should do this some other time.
Yeah.
Sorry, my English breaks in time.
Yep. If you want to check out his channel, link will be in the description below. Also check out our channels. For some reason, Tenza's and mine are not like clickable for some reason. So we need better links. So hopefully we can fix that in the future. And yeah, thank you, Isen. I don't know.
Isen.
Thank you for making it at the last minute, and yeah.
Yeah. You have a good day too, Isen.
Yeah.
Stay cool.
Yeah. All right. Bye.
See ya.
Bye.
Peace.
All right. Yeah, a little bit lagging. I clicked on the end thing.
That's the second time that that's the second time that happened. The first time Nuberton came at the
and last time we did the outro, then Nuberton said, "I was here the whole time."
I think we're still streaming, by the way. Are we?
I clicked on end.
Okay. So maybe it's just
just
hasn't ended.
Let's hope so.
Yeah.
We're just streaming.
Oh no, we're still streaming.
We're still streaming? Okay, hold on.
Yeah, we're still streaming.
Oh my god. That's all you.
Yeah, that's all.